Alright, good day and welcome to newspaper review on Nigerian Pilot TV for today, Thursday, November 26. My name is Emmanuel Obiswe and with me in the studio is... Alright, we'll be taking a look at most of the stories on the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers as well as the stories behind them. And as usual, we're going to start with the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. The main headline here on the cover page of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper is on the reopening of the borders. Borders opening. Presidential committee tells Buhari to reopen borders in report just submitted. Says it has assessed gains of closure, recommends reopening. That objectives for closing borders have been achieved. Fails to disclose exact date of reopening borders. We recall yesterday that the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Hajia Zainab Ahmed, speaking to journalists shortly after a meeting of the Presidential Committee on the reopening of the borders, had assured that the President, of course, would be advised to reopen the borders. Of course, the borders were closed for about 15 months.
Yes.
You know, the government was trying to check the influx of small arms as well as banned substances and drugs. But we do hope the government considers the economic implications of this closure and, of course, reopen. All right, we'll move ahead. Just above the main headline on the Nigerian Pilot, we have a story, this trending story on page 6. Recession. Nigeria's economy doing well compared to others. This is according to the Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. That story can be found on page 6 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. And of course, one of the stories that has been trending since yesterday can also be found on page 6. Football legend Diego Armando Maradona dies at 60. Such a tragic loss to the world of football. He was
sports.
Yes. He was famous, especially in the 1986 World Cup, where he scored a goal against Germany, England rather, using his hand, and the goal was later nicknamed Hand of God. We pray may his soul rest in peace. Yes. All right. Coming down to page 10, there's a story. Investment in East-West Road may be wasted if, this according to the Minister of Nigeria Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio. For more on these stories, do well to get a copy of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper and look out on page 10 for this story. Also on page 6, sanction. FG reaches out to the UK government. Over to you, Amina.
Okay, today I have with me Leadership newspaper and also The Punch. So let me take one of the catchy headlines. It's still on recession for the Leadership. We won't tinker with 2021 budget, says federal government. You can find that on page 4 of
the Leadership.
You want to show more light on that? We
Yeah.
won't tinker with the 2021.
Of course. The country has entered recession, you know, and the Minister of Finance has speculated that we may exit the recession in the first quarter of the year, and of course, maybe that is why the government is saying they don't want to tamper with the 2021 budget. Yeah, for us, I think the budget should contain more of capital expenditure and less of recurrent expenditure. That has been the problem of governance over the country. You know, most of the funds that come from the budget are used to service governance, day-to-day running of governance, instead of implementing capital projects that will, in the end, yield profit for the economy. So I think that's a good one. Yes. Yeah.
Well, then COVID 6, 315 billion naira to rebuild police stations and train youth.
Yes.
Found on page 9.
Yeah. We saw a meeting of the COVID committee that had the likes of Aliko Dangote, Tony Elubelu, and some other big shots in the country. I think it is a good one to rebuild, coming from the bad effects of the NSAS protest.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Then on INEC, Senate screens Yakubu today, silent on Onoche 6 weeks after, which can be found on page 10. Then military kills 82 bandits in Katsina, Zamfara. Bandits again and the military.
500 million. That is what the court has stated. It's either you give us 500 million for bail or you produce a minor. That is one consequence for standing, for someone out of trust. All right.
So over to you on the spot.
All right, we go back on the back page of the leadership. We have the Thursday column by the guest writer Issa Remu, and it's on Fidel Castro at times like this. Okay, for more on this column, you can get a copy of the leadership newspaper. All right, I think that is that for the leadership newspaper. All right, which other daily do we have?
We have the Punch paper for today, and one of the catchy headlines on the border closure as well. 15 months border closure, manufacturers fault federal government committee. Reports ready for Buhari. Then under it we have, which can be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Under it we have the prolonged border closure discourage long-term investments. Man Exports Group. We have preferential opening of borders shows government decision. Political says done. President to get presidential committee's reports on land border reopening soon. So we are hoping that will be soon.
Yeah, I think the closure of the borders is beginning to tell on the manufacturers. For over 15 months closing the borders, I think it's not good economically. I think the government needs to take a look at its policy and reopen, of course. All right, let's move ahead.
On page 21, and we have a petroleum industry bill will be passed into law March 2021, says reps. So that can be found on page 21. Underneath, we have a joint APC to become Adamawa governor in 2023, says Abo.
Okay, that's Senator Elisha Abo. He announces that defection officially yesterday from the PDP to the APC, of course.
And on page 7, another catchy one. Gunmen abduct Atiku security details wife's son, lawmaker's brother.
Of course. The rising rate of kidnappings and abductions across the country is really, really worrying. I think our security agencies need to step up their game and bring these miscreants to book.
Okay, so you can look behind for other more details on sports and.
Okay, behind the Punch, we have a tribute to football world, Mons Maradona, that can be found on page 30. And then the editorial for the Punch is written by the guest columnist Abimbola Adelekun. It says British lawmakers debate Nigeria's shame. That's a loud one. All right, we come back. That is it for the Punch. We come back to conclude with the Nigerian Pilot. We look behind. Also on Sports Watch behind the Nigerian Pilot newspaper, Argentinian football legend, of course, Diego Maradona, dead.
Yes.
And then just by the left-hand side, we have the Pilot editorial benefits of a newspaper by Daniel Igape, the guest writer. Some more of this juicy content. I do well to get yourself a copy of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. Okay, we'll take a few more headlines on the front page. On page 7, court to begin Nnamdi Kanu's treason trial in absentia today, I guess. All right, I think that is that. All right, with that, we have come to the end of today's episode of newspaper headline reviews on Nigerian Pilot TV. Thank you so much for joining us tomorrow. Please do well again to join us tomorrow at the same time. From us here, we'll say goodbye. My name is Emmanuel Obiswe.
I'm Inachi Wanabas. Until next time. Bye.